Good morning, children. मैं सुरेश स्वदेशी. Chapter number 2, Class 7, Book English, Syllabus NCERT. Reading campaign, reading practice, communication skill development. Before you read, Mridu is a young girl growing up in Madras, now called Chennai, with Tapi, her grandmother, and Thata, her grandfather. One afternoon, Tapi takes her to Aunt Rukumani's house to meet her cousins Lali, Ravi, and Meena. A gift of chappals. Smiling Rukumani threw open the door. Ravi and Meena rushed out, and Ravi pulled Mridu into the house. Wait, let me take off my slippers, protested Mridu. She set them out neatly near a pair of large black ones. Those were grey, actually with dust. You could see the clear mark of every toe on the front part of each slipper. The marks for the two big toes were long and scrawny. Mridu didn't have much time to wonder about whose slippers they were, because Ravi dragged her to the backyard, behind a thick bitterberry bush. There, inside a torn footbowl lined with sacking and filled with sand, lay a very small kitten lapping up milk from a coconut half shell. We found him outside the gate this morning. He was mewing and mewing, poor thing, said Meena. It's a secret. Amma says Pati will leave for our Padu Mama's house if she knows we have a cat. People are always telling us to be kind to animals, but when we are, they scream, "Oh, don't bring that dirty creature here," said Ruby. Do you know how hard it is just to get a little milk from the kitchen? Pati saw me with a glass in my hand just now. I told her I'm very hungry. I want to drink it. But the way she looked at me, I had to drink most of it to throw her off the scent. Then she wanted the tumbler back. Pati, Pati, I'll wash it myself. Why should I put you to trouble? I told her. I had to run and pour the milk into this coconut shell and then run back and wash the tumbler and put it back before she got really suspicious. Now we have to think of some other way to feed Mahindran. Mahindran? This little kitty's name is Mahindran. Mridu was impressed. It was a real name, not just a cute kitty cat name. Actually, its full name is Mahendra Verma Pallava Ponnai. MP Ponnai for short, if you like. He is a fine breed of cat. Just look at its fur, like a lion's mane. And you know what the emblem of the ancient Pallava kings was? Don't you? He looked expectantly at Mridu. Mridu giggled. Think I'm joking. Well, just wait. I'll show you sometime. It's clear you don't know a thing about history. Haven't been to Mahabalipuram, have you? He said mysteriously. Well, when our class went to Mahabalipuram, I saw a statue of his tatas, 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 etc., etc. Fact is, Mahendran here is descended from that very same ancient cat, a close relative, scientifically speaking, of none other than the lion, the Pallava lion, emblem of Pallava dynasty. Ravi went on, walking around the bitterberry bush, waving a twig up and down, his eyes sparkling. This cat is a descendant of none other than the Mahabalipuram Rishi cat, and if I may just remind you, they worshipped cats in ancient Egypt. How he loved the sound of his own voice! Meena and Mridu exchanged looks. What does that have to do with anything? Mridu demanded. Hmm, I'm telling you, this cat is descended from the Egyptian cat god. No, goddess Bastet. Yeah, that's it. So, well, one of the descendants of that cat goddess was a stowaway in one of the Pallava ships, and his descendant was the Mahabalipuram Rishi cat, whose descendant is Ravi, flourished his twig at Mahendran. MP Ponnai here. Who? Ee! He shrieked, very pleased with himself. Mahendran looked up, alarmed. He had just been sharpening his claws on the edge of this coconut shell. But worse than Ravi's awful whoop, eek was a screech from the window. What a weird sound! If Mridu was startled, MP Ponnai was frightened out of his wits. Here, standing on end, he bounced up and scurried towards a bamboo tray of red chilies that had been set out to dry. Trying to hide beneath it, he tipped a few chilies over himself. Meow! He howled miserably. The screeching went on and on. What's that noise? Said Mridu. That's Lali learning to play the violin, grunted Ravi. She'll never learn a thing. The music master just goes on playing like a train whizzing on and on, while Lali is all the time derailing, going completely off track. So students, this is part first. We will meet again in next video with part 2. Thank you.